The digital cloud is anchored by physical reality. In Pike County, Ohio, the proposed Ports Technology Campus represents that reality at an immense scale, a 1,318-acre industrial footprint designed to house the infrastructure of the global internet within the rural Midwest. The labor required just to begin construction illustrates the size of the undertaking. Project supporters estimate that building the data center complex and its surrounding network of roads and pipelines would require 35,000 temporary jobs. Sustaining a facility of this magnitude requires a massive, dedicated energy supply. The development proposal includes an on-site natural gas facility that project officials describe as potentially among the largest of its kind in the world. If completed, the campus would turn the Scioto Valley into a global epicenter for data storage and energy generation, capable of supporting the most intense computing demands on the planet. Pacing slows slightly. For now, those ambitions have been halted. A regulatory roadblock has frozen the project in place, ensuring that no construction can begin. The freeze is a direct result of the land's history. These 1,318 acres are the former site of the Portsmouth Gaseous Diffusion Plant, a major facility once used for atomic energy production. Decades of uranium enrichment have left a complicated legacy. Because of the potential for contamination, the soil and groundwater are highly sensitive to the massive land disturbances required by a project of this size. The Ohio EPA's Division of Surface Water has formally blocked the project's progress. They notified the developers, Portsmouth DevCo, that their water quality certification application lacked critical data and was too incomplete to move forward. The project's paralysis demonstrates a collision between two eras. The infrastructure demands of 21st century big tech are pushing directly against the fragile, radioactive remains of 20th century atomic energy. At the center of this legal freeze is the Clean Water Act Section 401 water quality certification. Section 401 forces any project requiring federal permits to prove that its construction will not degrade state water quality. Developers must demonstrate that moving millions of tons of earth won't compromise the local water supply. This map shows the 1,318-acre project site. When regulators reviewed the developer's application, they found significant blind spots, areas across the map where essential environmental data was missing. The Ohio EPA cited a lack of documentation regarding local wetlands and missing information on how the project's construction would impact nearby streams. The developers also failed to provide necessary federal permit materials and incomplete documentation regarding endangered species living on the site. The agency is not simply checking boxes. Instead, they are demanding a granular accounting of the ecological changes a project on this scale will cause. Even with a complete plan, large-scale construction requires mitigation, a system of stream mitigation credits designed to offset environmental damage within the local watershed. Mitigation credits work like an ecological ledger. If a developer alters a natural resource in one area, they must pay to restore or protect an equivalent resource within the same watershed system to maintain a balance. Because of the project size, the EPA has raised serious questions about whether the regional watershed even has enough available stream mitigation credits to cover the environmental debt. This incomplete ruling from the EPA is not a final denial. However, it functions as a strict legal freeze that prevents any progress until Portsmouth DevCo submits the required information. The developers have yet to prove they can reconcile their massive construction footprint with the region's finite and historically fragile ecological limits. The standoff in Pike County is more than a local permitting dispute. It is a preview of the challenges facing the next generation of infrastructure. The situation in Ohio reflects the rapid expansion of hyperscale data centers worldwide as they push deeper into natural and historical landscapes. Behind the seamless digital cloud sits a foundation of intensely physical, resource-heavy megastructures. Every virtual connection is physically tied to a specific patch of Earth, requiring a permanent and massive environmental commitment. These campuses demand dedicated power plants and enormous supplies of water for cooling. As they scale to meet the world's computing needs, they are increasingly colliding with hard ecological ceilings. Before building a limitless digital future, the tech industry must first reckon with the granular limits of the physical Earth, the streams, the soil, and the historical legacy of the land itself.